Joe Biden's been a goof his whole career. He's always been a goof. He's been caught lying so many times. Yeah. There's so much evidence that he's corrupt, just undeniable evidence of corruption. And the stuff with him and his son, and the fact that mainstream news is ignoring this, except for right-wing media, it's crazy.
And that was podcaster Joe Rogan ripping into the media's silence on the growing evidence of Joe Biden's corruption. This is where learning Eric Schwerin, Hunter Biden's longtime business partner, visited the Obama White House and Joe Biden's vice presidential residence at least 36 times between 2009 and 2016. The president of the Government Accountability Institute, Peter Schweitzer, joined me on Sunday Morning Future, saying Schwerin was in control of the Biden money.
I would add the next shoe that may drop is there's another individual involved with Hunter Biden named Eric Schwerin. He's the guy that moved money around, and based on the Hunter Biden laptop, Schwerin had access not only to Hunter Biden's accounts, but also Joe Biden's accounts.
Joining me right now is Georgia Congressman Andrew Clyde. He is a member of the House Appropriations Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks very much. How do you see all of this?
Well, good morning, Maria. Well, I'll tell you, Congress needs to hear from Eric Schwerin. I think that's very, very important with all these shell companies out there. If this is the guy who moves the money around, then this is the guy that knows where it came from, where it went, and what happened to it. So I think it's very important for Congress to hear. This testimony will be enlightening to the country, to say the least. This is a very important guy.
We're waiting to hear this testimony. I know you and your colleagues are on recess right now, but this is a priority for Judiciary in September. But I want to get your take on where you sit in terms of where this is going. Would you be poised to vote for an inquiry into impeachment for Biden?
Oh, well, I think an impeachment inquiry is certainly something that needs to go forward. I think that's a very important aspect of where we are. You know, we have seen incredible criminal activity, evidence of it time and time again. The FBI FD 1023, that form that came out, Devin Archer's testimony that said President Joe Biden, as vice president, was involved in Hunter Biden's business dealings, at least 20 phone calls worth. And then, you know, the FD 1023 goes back and says that there's recordings of Joe Biden with the president of Burisma Gas Company, the Ukrainian company. He's got at least two recordings there, 15 with Hunter. And then you're seeing just more evidence coming out, real hard, concrete evidence. So, yes, an impeachment inquiry is on the table. I think that's very important that we go there and that the country see that this is a corrupt presidency. This is a corrupt administration all the way to the very top. And we in oversight, we need to hold them accountable through the power of the purse.
Well, we also want to know how you're going to do that. I'm going to get into the next issue with the FBI in a moment, but you just said holding them accountable through the power of the purse. What are your plans when you come back in September in terms of holding them accountable to the purse with these 12 appropriations bills?
Well, you know, we've got two appropriations left that have to go through committee. One is Ed and Labor. The other is, in my opinion, the most important one, and that is Commerce, Justice, Science. That is where we decide on the budget, we write the check for the Department of Justice, which includes the FBI and the ATF and the entire prosecutorial branch of the Department of Justice. So that is where we will be cutting their budget. You know, the barber is open, and we need to hold them accountable through money. The only thing the agencies in Washington, D.C. listen to is money. If you don't have the ability to cut their budget, to eliminate their personnel, to trim their cocktail allowances, if you will, their reception budget, you name it, if you don't have that power, they will ignore you. But we have that power, and we're going to use that power. That's for certain.
Well, we're all watching, because every day we learn of another upset or another misdeed from the FBI leadership. I mean, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan says that FBI agent Elvis Chan lied to Congress about his communications with Facebook and the Hunter Biden laptop story. We talked about Elvis Chan over and over again on this program. He testified that he was confident he was not part of any meetings with big tech about Hunter Biden. Jordan now reveals that there is internal Facebook documents proving that Agent Chad had a secret follow-up call with Facebook about the laptop on October 15, 2020, just one day after the New York Post story dropped, Congressman. So you've got the FBI telling Facebook, telling Twitter to censor information, amplify lies, suppress truth right before an election. And where's the accountability? What are you going to do about it?
Well, you definitely have an evidence of election interference right here. So now, is the FBI going to charge their special agent Chan with lying, with the process crime of lying to Congress? I mean, this is a double standard by our premier law enforcement agency, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's unacceptable. It's tarnish on our nation for the FBI. So we need to hold them accountable through the power of the purse. And I look forward to doing that. You know, I think the second week in September, when we come back, we will mark that appropriation up. And I look forward to cutting their budget in a significant way, and to do it in a very precise way, too.
By the way, Congressman, we spoke with Marjorie Taylor Greene, your colleague in Georgia, on Sunday, and she said she's expecting more indictments on President Trump. I mean, in the middle of all of this, which is, suggesting criminality of taking all of this money in from the Biden family, you've got one indictment after the next of President Trump. You're a congressman from Georgia. Are you expecting an indictment from the state of Georgia on President Trump?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if you look at the timing of the indictments. Every time that you see a significant piece of evidence coming out against Joe Biden, against the Biden crime family, then you have another indictment from President Trump, whether it's from Alvin Bragg in New York, whether it's from Jack Smith and his multiple indictments. And now you have the potential of one coming out of Georgia here. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever that we see another indictment of President Trump when another bombshell piece of evidence of corruption from Joe Biden and the Biden crime family. When I think you'll see that indictment just literally roll the next day or the next day after.
Well, I mean, look, we're told that the prosecutor there has set up blockades outside the courthouse. In other words, she's getting ready for it. But I want to get your take on this. Nearly 30 House Republicans signing a letter to Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm. They want answers on why she had multiple secret conversations with China's top energy official just days before the Biden administration tapped our Strategic Petroleum Reserve. They write this. This is concerning given the Department of Energy's mismanagement of the SPR, which has left our country more vulnerable to energy supply disruptions and strengthened the leverage of our adversaries to use energy as a geopolitical weapon. Congressman, I don't understand, why is Jennifer Granholm checking with officials in China about the situation on America's oil?
Well, that's very concerning because energy is definitely a weapon. It has been used time and time in wars across our history as a weapon to our advantage or to whoever has the energy to their advantage. And right now you're seeing our Strategic Petroleum Reserve at under 50% of its maximum capacity right now. That is so incredibly concerning to our nation. We are putting ourselves at risk here, at strategic risk, by doing this, by the Biden administration releasing our strategic prices
I think
spike.
we are.
And to have the energy secretary coordinate or speak with China about it is wrong.
It's pretty extraordinary, Congressman. It truly is. We're going to be watching the appropriations process. This, of course, will be the main focus of attention, along with the potential for impeachment inquiry after September 12th, when you all get back. In terms of the budget, are you expecting the U.S. to run out of money? Are you expecting a continuing resolution, given the fact that the funding runs out September 30th?
I think we will be working very hard to make sure that all 12 appropriations are brought to the House floor and are voted on the House floor. That's our job. That's what we're there to do. So I look forward to being part of the solution to make sure that happens.
All right, Congressman, good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Andrew Clyde joining us this morning in Georgia. Thank you, sir.